Hi, it's Katie. This is week 21 for me of my pregnancy. This past week has been probably the sickest I felt since November when I was in the hospital. I just haven't had a very good week at all. It seems like a lot of different things have happened medical-wise, like the blisters under the PICC, I got a rash, not able to control my nausea and vomiting. So since the last video that I did, the blisters under the PICC site area got much worse, and it was really bad, so we had to go in to do a PICC on the other side, the other arm. So now I have the PICC in my left arm, and they took the one out of the right arm, and they just made sure that they didn't put any adhesives or anything, any kind of tape on the PICC area. Even just tegaderm at this point starts to get red after a day or two, but mainly the securement devices that they use for the PICC lines is what, I guess the adhesive in those is really strong because they're supposed to last a week. So those were essentially like burning my skin. Just slowly, like I would notice it started hurting, and then it would get red, and then it would get like wet because it's blistering. It was really gross. So it almost started doing that on the left side because they were still trying to put like some gauze with some tape on it, which I can't have like any tape on it at all. It just has to be, it's gauze, and then it's this Coban that's just wrapped around it. And then the PICC this time is actually sutured in with stitches so that it can't come out. So it's a little bit more painful this time, I think, because of the stitches, because that's healing as well as like around where the site is. But my other arm is starting to heal up. It's still a little bit discolored, but it looks so much better. It was completely like blistered and dried up and really gross just a week ago, so I'm glad that it's starting to heal. It doesn't hurt anymore. During that time, same time that the blistering stuff with the PICC line was going on, I got a really bad rash, and it started out just on my stomach. It was just itchy, uncomfortable for a day or two, and then it just kept me up all night one night. Couldn't sleep at all. I was taking Benadryl. I tried hot baths or warm baths. You don't want hot while you're pregnant. Warm baths and like oatmeal baths, ice packs, aloe vera gel, anything I could think of that I didn't think would like interfere with being pregnant or possibly make things worse. So the doctor was aware of the rash. They were thinking it might be one of my nausea meds, either the Zofran or the Phenergan. I really didn't think at that time that it was that because I'd been on them for so long. I thought it had more to do with the blisters that I got, like the reaction to the adhesives, and then maybe the reaction to the hydrocortisone that they put on the blisters. So my doctor just said, okay, let's give it a couple of days, see if it gets better with just the Benadryl. So I was taking Benadryl every 4 hours. It helped a little bit with the itching, not very much though. Like I said, I was up pretty much for 3 or 4 days. I barely slept at all. Those were some pretty horrible nights. I just felt so frustrated and upset because, you know, I was still throwing up and nauseous, and my new PICC line was hurting. My old blisters were hurting from the other PICC line. And then I have this horrible rash. I've never had some kind of skin issue where it just was constant, horrible itching. I could not stop myself from scratching. And then after scratching, it's burning. And at that point, it had spread to my chest, my arms, my neck, my legs. It had pretty much spread all over. After about 3 days of that, I finally was ready to stop the Phenergan to see if it was that, because the rash was just it was keeping me up. It was too bad, and since it was spreading, it was worrying me since I am pregnant. So I stopped the Phenergan, which obviously made my nausea and vomiting much worse because that's what's been helping. So we stopped the Finagrin for 3 days. Day 2, I had called the home health nurse and told them, you know, if I need to go to the hospital, do I need to go get admitted? Because the previous week the doctor had said, you know, if the rash is bad enough, we might have to admit you and try to get the rash under control, get you off the nausea meds, put you on some new ones, and figure out what's going on. So I was ready after a couple of days to do whatever we needed to do. If we needed to go into the hospital, that's really not what I wanted to do, but I just needed some relief. But they decided to do steroids at home, IV steroids. So they started that, which helped the rash. I stayed off the Finagrin, so I was still very nauseous, throwing up more. And then they wanted to stop the Zofran as well to see if that was, because I was still having some itching even with the steroids and still taking the Benadryl every 4 hours. So we stopped the Zofran as well. At that point I got really sick. Again, not able to keep down even liquids. I felt like I was getting dehydrated even though we were doing the IV fluids here. So at that point, once again, I was like, what do I need to do? I'm worried because I'm not able to keep fluids down even. And they added a new medication, Reglan, and that was going to be like the Zofran continuous, like in a pump. And so I started that. And I really didn't feel any relief with that. I don't know if it works for some people, but it didn't help me at all. I gave it about a day and a half, and then today we switched back from the Reglan pump continuous to the Zofran pump continuous. So the plan for the doctor and my home health nurse and everybody right now is to stay on the Zofran continuously like I was before, and stay off of Finagrin, off of the Reglan now, and just try to increase fluids. I feel like my body's still a little bit dehydrated just from being off of those meds for a couple of days, and I have one more day of the steroids. So hopefully the Zofran will start kicking in and it'll help like it was before. It was a very hard week for me. I was just kind of at a loss. I just felt like nothing was going right, and I know it's just stuff that happened. I mean, I had a reaction obviously to some medication and some adhesives that they were using, but just to have to deal with getting another PICC line and just all of that and the rash, and it was just a lot. Oh, and a few days after the PICC line placement, and then they removed the other one from this arm, I was having pain like on my upper neck, shoulder kind of. So I had to go get that ultrasounded to make sure it wasn't a blood clot. So it was just a lot of little things that added up to be just a bad week. And my husband stayed home from work one day because we thought I was going to be admitted to the hospital. And luckily he was here to help me, though, take me to get the ultrasound done to check for the blood clot and just be here whenever we were trying new medications and stuff like that. So he's been super supportive, and I know that things are looking better, things are getting better. It's just taking some time. I don't expect to feel great. I don't even expect to feel good. I just want to feel like I can get through the day and just, I don't know how I felt a couple weeks ago. Just, I'm okay with the nausea and the vomiting, but just let me be able to function a little bit. I just want to go back to that. I didn't realize how good I had it a few weeks ago. So it definitely makes me more thankful for feeling just a little bit better after having such a hard, bad week. And we didn't do much this week. Come here. Hey, 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 hey. Come here. Look, look. Here's Mackenzie. Can you say hi? Wave. Say hi. Wave. Blow kisses. We didn't do very much this week at all. I spent a lot of time resting. And we spent a lot of time inside. I have some clips of her playing outside. Hi. But this is the update for week 21. We are hanging in there and hoping week 22 will be even better. Wave. Wave. Blow kiss. Kick the ball, baby. Ball. Here, go get it. Mackenzie, go get it. Get the ball. Come here, baby. Hi, honey. Ready? Go get it. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe.